view of current plans for acquiring the F-35C carrier variant. The Pentagon's thinking about how much they're willing to pay for the extra capabilities afforded by the F-35C, and how many aircraft they need for the kinds of missions only an F-35 can do. I can't find the white paper online, but as reported, it suggests the USN could save $8 billion in procurement costs by reducing the number of F-35Cs and making up the numbers with Block 3 Super Hornets. Based on their cost estimates, $79 million for an XT or $120 million for an F-35C, that works out to a reduction from 340 to fewer than 150 F-35Cs. It's worth noting that even the most ambitious plans for the F-35C don't include replacing all the Navy's fighters. Each carrier air wing optimally includes 4 tactical fighter squadrons, currently 1 squadron of Legacy Hornets and 3 of Super Hornets. The JSFs are initially intended to replace the Legacy Hornets by 2028 and, under current plans, a second carrier squadron will be replaced with F-35Cs by 2033. The white paper appears to suggest capping F-35C numbers at just 1 squadron per CVW, plus spare and training aircraft, for a total of about 140 aircraft. It's not an altogether terrible idea. Canceling the F-35C completely, which has been mooted from time to time, makes little sense. For airstrikes on terrorists in Iraq, Syria, older platforms are more than sufficient. But in a high-end war, the F-35 stealth and situational awareness could make it an invaluable addition to the CVW, especially in the first days of the war. And, despite President Trump's comments to the contrary, making an aircraft stealthy isn't as simple as putting a stealth component onto it. The F/A-18XT looks essentially the same as the advanced Super Hornet demonstrator tested in 2013. It features conformal fuel tanks, improved sensors, new cockpit avionics and compatibility with the EA-18G Growler's jamming pods. But the XT appears to exclude the earlier demonstrator's stealthy enclosed weapons pod. Being based on a well-established design, it'd likely be less expensive than the F-35C. The latest low-rate F-35 production contract, LRIP-10, includes 2 F-35Cs at a flyaway cost of $121.8 million each. The number of F-35Cs produced has been the lowest of the 3 variants, with just 47 aircraft ordered so far, including LRIP-10. As numbers ramp up, it's likely that the cost will continue to come down. Historical Super Hornet and Growler deliveries have had a flyaway cost of about $70 million each, but that's based on high production rates. The F/A-18XT will be more expensive, but by how much is unclear. If Boeing can deliver the F/A-18XT at $80 million and the F-35C price drops to $100 million, the USN will have to decide if the F-35C's capability is worth the extra $20 million unit price. They might well decide that it is, but that conclusion would be shakier if the cost difference is closer to $40 million, and that's the thrust of Boeing's case. The F-35's operating costs will be higher than the Super Hornets, due in part to its special stealth coating, but also its generally greater complexity. The white paper claims that the USN could save up to $1.4 billion in annual operating costs by reducing the number of F-35Cs in favor of new Super Hornets. The white paper argues that total savings over 20 years could be as much as $30 billion, freeing up finances for other important projects, like unmanned strike platforms. Or the USN could simply invest in even more Super Hornets. They can't fit many more aircraft on a carrier deck, but if a real war breaks out, losses will need to be replaced. It's clear that the Super Hornet can't compete with the F-35.